Hey guys, it's of course your sister, and I wanted to give you a spiritual gift because it's your birthdays, and I wanted to give something that was so powerful and helpful to me for both of you because it seems like both of you are going through massive transformations and self-discovery, and both go through therapy sessions and personal development this year. So I'm going to, of course, being the most black sheep and unorthodox sister, I'm going to just try this. And please understand that my intention is that I love you both and I really want you to heal and understand the power of our thoughts and how our thoughts actually create our realities. And so, what I've discovered this year is just recently, within the past 3 months, is that when fear becomes our boss, is only when chaos is our rule. So we allow fear, negative thinking, and stuff, and we go instantly into survival mode because we allow chaos in our life to rule. And one of the biggest challenges I have always faced is, how do I control that? How do I control those pangs and those moments of depression? How do I overcome that? So this was a technique that I thought about that was taught to me, and it's how to transform your fear into positive thinking. Now, what I learned is that everybody fears. Everybody has fears. And that there is no possible way that we can control fear, but we can also use it as a guide. So with this, I learned what is the antithesis or the polar opposite of fear. And so when you actually discover that feeling, on the other side of that is when you take action to change it, it's freedom, and there's a great release. So the three things that I've learned, or four things that I've learned that we cannot control in life, is it's simple: sun rising and setting, dog barks, wind blows, and a baby cries. Those are things in life that we cannot control, but the things that we can control are our emotions, our state of thought, and our feelings of fear. And so the one thing that a friend said to me is that hope and fear cannot occupy in the same space. It's about faith. And, faith is the cost you pay attention to that will be the ultimate price. It's very time consuming. And the funny thing is that what I learned was that it's not so much the actual event, but actually it's the anticipation or the build of the anticipation that makes us just absolutely anxious and nuts. So it's all psychosomatic. So anyway, there's going to be an exercise that I was taught, because it's not only the feeling of fear, but when I start getting anxious or depressed or something like that, there's a conversation, a person, or something in my life that is harboring this feeling. And I needed to understand, how do I address this? How do I switch that conversation? Or my goal is to change that conversation so that I get a better result or a better outcome. May it be a boss, may it be a friend, may it be you two, but I've been struggling to figure out how to communicate to you guys, to mom and dad, and, just be a lot more open to you guys. Because one of the things I've discovered is, through the years, I have become completely numb. And so with that, this is not living. This isn't life. Feeling nothingness and feeling like we could patch things up by saying nothing is just not really healthy for anybody. And so what's the other side, or what is the opposite of feeling numb? And I thought about that. And especially like within the past 3 weeks when, I got scared to death about knowing there's a lump in my lymph nodes. And they were saying it could be cancerous and malignant, no less. That really wakes you up. So the Lord has given me a second chance, and I want to share this to you too. And it's an exercise that I'm going to try to be real quick about. But whatever fear of, I'm going to put, this is an exercise I do. I write down every kind of negative feeling I have. I give myself 5 minutes to think about a conversation or whatever's bothering me. And they taught me to put yourself in a state of meta, meaning that you got to kind of physically address these feelings. And this is what they call feelings on the floor. And imagine yourself as the 7-year-old child looking into this and just observing these feelings and these conversations that you have. Okay? But you're looking down like this. And here's yourself as a 7-year-old. But then you, as the adult, are going to take a step back and look at that child and those feelings and ask yourself, how do I change this conversation and move past that? So what you do is, let's say, I tried out for, let's say I tried a new job. I'm just giving you an example. I interviewed for a job and I got rejected. So I'm stepping into failure. And the polar opposite of that is maybe because I was thinking I'm an absolute failure and that I am not worthy of this position, that I'm just going to go in there anyway and interview with the feeling of failure, instead of having the feeling of I'm a success, I'm a badass at what I do. And keep telling your conversation not so much as in the negative, which is the fear and chaotic, because you're probably thinking about you have to do your bills, you got to pay, you got to feed your kids, the mortgage is due, all these crazy chaotic things are happening to you, and you're just encompassing on the stress and the worry of not getting the job, and it's not going to happen. And what's going to happen to this perspective is it's going to make it worse, because you've just created an anchor and you're stuck in that anchor of failure. But when you stop, whatever you resist, it persists. So I was taught to let it go and see yourself in the light of success, and start speaking in the light of success that, oh yeah, I'm going to get this job. I aced this job. I got this interview. It's mine. I know I'm overqualified for the position. They're going to love what I got. And so when I changed my conversation, and I actually done this in many business meetings and business opportunities lately, that it really works. It helps me understand that even though I'm still a nanny, I made really amazing choices with opening up a business. I'm now 33%, and it's a great deal, where now I get 33% of the stake in a business. And all I have to do is build out a automated online sales funnel, and then I step back and collect the residuals. I put myself in that position, and I'm blessed that an opportunity like that came into my life. So I learned how this year to, multitask, or actually duplicate, or learned how to leverage making money in different places. And that was a very cool gift, because I stopped thinking in the I'm not good enough. My technical skills aren't savvy enough. There's people with college degrees that have, more qualified experience with me. But then when I stopped saying that, and I just started talking to other web developers and eggheads, I just realized that I know more than they do. So I got to start getting paid like that. And so I've built out plenty of things, and this is my personal experience. But please understand, I'm not trying to put myself on a soapbox or anything, but this is an example to understand when we speak in the light of success or in positive thinking, things start to manifest. If you just allow faith and just go with the flow, that's when things really start happening in a different way. But when we constantly have that conversation in our head that we're not good enough, or we're not going to get the job and stuff, that's what happens. It constantly happens. But when you just stop, take a step back, and see yourself looking at the 7-year-old child saying, wait a minute, this fear isn't real. It's a sensation like a bug bite, and that's it. It's just a bug bite. It's a sensation that is your ego telling you all the things that could possibly go wrong, but hasn't yet. But what I was taught to do is address the ego and thank your gut instincts for, giving that sensation, because that's what it's mechanically designed to do. Is that when you step out in the street and you see a bus, your instinct's going to tell you, get the fuck out of the way, or otherwise you're going to, die. That's what an ego in fear is designed to do, is use that sense. But there are some fears and anxieties that we create in our heads that aren't real, like getting a phone number from a girl or a guy or a boss, and asking favors and stuff. And we're just terrified to ask. But then that fear isn't real. It's just that when you take action and actually try, that on the other side of that fear is freedom, because you did it. And it may not be the result you want at the first time around, but then give it some time and trust. It will come around. If it's not from that person, it's going to be another opportunity elsewhere. But it's about releasing any kind of negative thought and saying, thank you, ego, for helping me address that fear. But it's just a bug bite. And I'm going to take action, and I believe in better days ahead, because this is the outcome I expect, which is a positive outcome. So anyway, this is your unorthodox sister trying to help you guys understand this method, and I really hope, I've helped you, and I love you guys. Bye.